Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Virgo. If Virgo is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. Okay, let's get started. Okay, Virgo. Let's see what we have today. All right. Okay, I just want to point this out from the beginning. These beautiful cards. Okay, this is from the... Oh, and I got it wet. Hopefully that's not going to stain it. Oh, goodness. Here we go. Okay, I just wanted to point this out because this is the Two of Cups, which is usually the love card. This has a lot to do with love, union, finding a sense of home, all of these kinds of things, these feelings. I love, and I'm going to destroy this quote, but Gibran says that we should fill each other's cups, right? But what is that? But not let ours go empty, basically. So we must share in our love, give each other what we can, right? As much of ourselves as we possibly can, but not so much that we're completely depleted. So I think about this flowing into one another. And that's kind of the vibe of the reading. I haven't even looked at the leaves yet, but when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is definitely going to be about love and union in some form. Okay, let's look. Let's see what we have. I'm going to pull this away. Well, and my goodness, look at this. How bizarre. It is literally matched. We have this, and then you can see right here. It looks so much like it. I mean, it's not exactly the same, but very similar. That is bizarre. Okay, that is so weird. I can't... You know what? Spirit is just, I'm not going to say strange, but sometimes it's just, you get this feeling, this uncanny feeling like, my gosh. So apparently this really is. And it's so funny because this is really a very unique portrayal of the Two of Cups, right? This is from the carnival at the end of the world. And I just got these cards and I love them. They're beautiful. And that's so bizarre that it's like a mirror image right here. So confirmation in my mind. This is about the Two of Cups, the love, the work of love in our lives. I'm kind of floored, really. Okay, let's see. Let's turn this. How funny. Okay. Okay, so first I want to look at this. It looks like a large P, or it could be a D, like a lowercase d. This is like really in the central part of the cup. So this is important, okay? This is, I think, a name. It could be a P name. It could be a D name. This is somebody important in your life. This probably has a lot to do with this love situation we have going on. Okay, so can you think of somebody? I mean, maybe your partner, maybe somebody that you have been, you know, kind of feeling or talking to, or maybe a past love. That could be, right? And it could be a D, like I said, a lowercase d name. I personally, and you might notice this on my, some of the things that are written on my channel, I'm not good with capitalization. Like know my grammar. I know how it should be formatted, but I don't capitalize a lot of things. So if it's a lowercase d, that does not mean it's not a name. It could be a name, because if I was texting you or whatever, I would not capitalize the D, right? Okay, so let's see. I want to look at this one that's also really central here. It looks like a little house. Okay, so the square, the little roof on there. And so I really think this has to be so much about somebody who is like a domestic partner, somebody who you might be married to or will be married to. Somebody you thought you want to marry. You know, there's this intent and will, I think, set on this person. And maybe this will be in the future. Maybe this has already happened. Okay. But this is, and it doesn't have to be marriage, like, you know, legally bound by the state or whatever. This could be a spiritual marriage, you know, a spiritual spouse. It could even be like your interior beloved. And what do I mean by that? That could be like, it could be somebody that you experience in your spiritual realms. So in your dream life, in your meditations, in your visions, a manifestation of your anima animus, something like this. Okay, it doesn't have to be somebody who is manifested. Maybe it is manifested in another person. Okay, that could be true. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a physical person. Though, because I see this home, I really think that this, and where it's placed in this physical realm, I really do think that this is maybe somebody more in the physical daily life. Okay, somebody that is, tangible, that you can touch or, you know, share your household with, or whatever you conceive as being home, okay, in relationship to this reading. And that, you know, sometimes, you know, people feel like home. Sometimes you feel like home to people. So there's a lot of different ways we can go with this. I know that sometimes we want you know, you come to this reading, you want specific details that are like set in stone. I get it. But that's not how it works with how I read. I'm not a psychic. I'm more I'm an intuitive person. And I just want to guide you through paths of thinking, right? This is kind of like active imagination, or, you know, finding correlations to help you find little markers on your path, right? And so we don't always come up with things that are super set in stone. Now, we do see that the universe mimics itself, or mimics things for us, right? And those are definite signs that, hey, this is like you're on the right way. We see maybe repeating patterns or concepts or words or impressions or whatever. And then you know, okay, this is for me. So that's why I kind of like talk about these things and really kind of come up with a bunch of different ways that this could relate. Okay, because I want this to be for more than just one person who has these very specific details. Because this is really an experience of kind of like traveling our minds, our experiences in life, and just, you know, like a thought experiment to some degree. Okay, and that's what a lot of readings really are. They are for you to help work things out that you're feeling and seeing and experiencing. Okay, now I'm seeing this beautiful, it looks to me something like, I'm getting this thought of like a moose, although it doesn't have any antlers, right? a moose or maybe like a goat, and it's sitting, kind of sitting there on its butt, and it's gazing up here at the stars, right? Or gazing into the physical world. Now, where it's placed, this is more in the mind, okay? And I think that when I see this, I want to relate this over here. And this is kind of clunky, but I really, for me, see it so clearly as a sickle. Okay, so to me, and the sickle is related to Capricorn, Saturnine energies, okay? I also see that I feel like this has the qualities of a goat. For some reason, I really feel like this is an image of Saturn, okay? Like Saturn vibes, okay? I feel like recently, and we just came out of Capricorn season, and, Saturnalia was in December, okay? So we have a strong, kind of shadow of Saturn going on right now, okay? And the days are getting shorter, and so Saturn is unfortunately descending. I'm a big fan of Saturn, by the way. Although, it's difficult, but I love Saturn because it really, to me, is so interrelated with the beginning stages of alchemy, self-work, self-alchemy, processing some of those very unrefined materials, getting that lead driven out of ourselves, and then reintegrating things so that we can begin to transmute them, right? So more though, on the psychological side of it, Saturn is really related to melancholy, depression, these kind of slow moving, just difficult, the dark night of the soul, these Saturnine valleys, right? When I think of it, I think of like the moon, but it's a valley, and it's very dark and bleak, and the tundra or something, and there's like banshees way off screaming, and Lilith the goddess is somewhere in there, right, trying to lure us across it, get us, and we think luring, but maybe she's helping us, okay, helping us become ourselves, our more authentic selves through these times of suffering. So I look at this and I think, man, you have been in quite a state of contemplation. You've had some sadness, I think. Things haven't been super difficult, but there's just an underlying sense of dissatisfaction, maybe remorse, guilt, not feeling yourself, or maybe like me, you feel so much yourself when you're in these states. I'm a person that really dwells in melancholy quite a bit, and I do a lot to try to, make that transition out of that so I don't have to, expose other people to it too much. But when I'm in those like lower states, those more base states, I feel so at home, right? For me anyways, okay? And I'm just saying this so kind of where I'm coming from with not romanticizing the hardship, but you know what? That's kind of where that's where I feel myself most often. And so when I look at this, I'm like, yeah, I get it. I get it. And so I think this has been a thing that's been going on a bit. Now, I also think that on the other side of this, you have been having this love connection happening, okay? And I think that this is something that also feels at home. I think that you are a real romantic, okay? And I think that you do a good job of lifting yourself out of these times when you are almost like it's like a dissociation. You dissociate from things a little bit. You get into your head quite a bit. You know, you really, well, you're Virgo, right? We overthink things. And I say we because I am also a solar Virgo. We have a tendency to really, some people say nitpick, okay? I take offense to that a little bit, but we really consider all the facts and we like to go over them. Not once, not twice, maybe, 100 times, okay? And so I think that you've been in that state. I think, though, that you were kind of coming lifted out of that. I think that you're refocusing yourself. And now, I do think that there's this romantic quality of love happening or a desire for this romance. But I also see, where did she go? I also see this lovely being here, and she looks almost somewhat of a sea creature, maybe some kind of mermaid, maybe, something like that. And I'm seeing that she has like kind of, and I say she, and I really try not to sex any of these things. And let me say, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get out of that habit because I don't actually experience life in this very binary way as far as like, identity goes. And I won't get far into that. But, it's like such an old habit. And I have been talking to my husband about this. Like, how am I... there's a lot of things in the occult and esoteric thinking and psychology, whatever it is, a lot of masculine, feminine, and then the attributes that go along with that, and tarot, astrology. And I'm like, I would like to, I need to get a deeper understanding where I know it's even within these things, there's the spectrums, they're there. It's not all binary, but I don't like that the attributes of the archetypes to be sexed. And I just really am trying my hardest to like get out of that. So I apologize. There's one of my tangents. Okay. So we see this beautiful sea creature. I think that we're really flowing for, like, the water was frozen. The lake was frozen, right? I think it's thawing out a little bit. I think that you're kind of getting out of that real kind of detached incubation kind of place, and I feel that you really are wanting to connect with other people right now. I feel this like I feel that it's kind of this sensation to and not socialize widely, but I feel like you want to just have some really quality connection. And it doesn't have to be romantic, but I feel like whatever was going on while you were in this more Saturnine place, whatever you were thinking about, whatever things you were working out, now you kind of have removed some of the blockages a little bit. Okay. And I feel like you really want to talk about some of this stuff. You want to connect with somebody on a deep level and really stand face to face. I get this kind of imagery, and that's very much this, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm literally just looked at that. But this imagery of being face to face. okay, on the same level. Really, and I don't mean physically necessarily, but I mean somebody that you respect, somebody that you trust, somebody that you have confidence in, and vice versa, they and you, okay? And I really feel that a big part of this, this feeling I see here, or the feelings I see in this cup are that you really feel, I feel like you've had some issues with trust, okay, because of the way your life has gone. And, you know, we all run into moments like that. Maybe we carry it with us. Maybe we get rid of that pretty quickly and we're willing to trust again pretty soon. But I get the feeling that you have had some trouble trusting, okay? And it's taken a lot of work to even begin to think that you might be able to trust going forward. So I think this is a big step. And now if you're in a relationship already, I think that these are issues that have come up in your relationship. And even if the person has never given you any reason to think that they haven't been trustworthy, and this, I don't just mean like cheating or something like that, but just in all, you know, it could be any part of your relationship, domestic stuff, you know, financial stuff, or just not, you know, not trusting that they know what they're doing. And this is the thing with, you know, the stereotypes of Virgo is that Virgos are nitpicky, but we also just like want to do everything ourselves because we just deep down don't have like, I don't know, like we don't have it within us to trust that other people will do it right, or the patience, right? It's just easier to do it yourself than explain to somebody else. And I know I am very much like that. It's been very difficult for me to really temper those feelings of I just rather get it done and go slower. And because I have a small child, you know, I'm teaching her how to do stuff, right? And not only that, I'm teaching her by my own attitude. And how can I expect her to be patient if I'm not patient? How can I expect her to interact with others in a way where, you know, it's a conversation rather than just, you know, whatever, I'll do it myself. I want her to be able to teach others. I want her to be able to work with others, to be a team player, all those things, right? And so I've had to really, you know, struggle to slow down and trust that the process will work, that she will get things and she'll learn them and it'll be fine. And if she does it her own way, okay, I just have to trust that. Now, that can also happen with other adults, right? You know, I remember when like my husband and I first got together, he would get so annoyed because I would just I wouldn't rewash the dishes after he did them, but, you know, I'd be like, oh, well, maybe you should do it this way, or, you know, this might be helpful if you do this. Well, he's a grown man, okay, Lenor? He doesn't need pointers. He's been doing this. He's been taking care of himself for most of his life. So, you know, that's just, I feel like on some level, that's kind of, you know, you've had some of those kind of trust issues, and they might be just little tiny things, or it might be really big things. Okay. You just don't trust people at all. And you know, there's maybe some really underlying thing for that. And that's understandable. Okay. Sometimes things happen in our lives and it makes it very hard to trust people. But I think that you are aware of that, and you've been working really hard to get over some of that stuff, because I think you know that if you are going to have relationships that are functional, worthwhile, get to deeper levels, you're going to have to trust other people, friends, family, the romantic relationships, our children, right? Which just saying that gives me, I just was thinking of my daughter being a teenager and like when she starts like going off and driving by herself and oh my goodness, it's going to keep me up tonight. But okay, so I'm starting to see right here, it looks like a body that, like a body of a human here, kind of in this gleeful dancing in the wind. And I see kind of this tree growing out of the head, and it looks like it's so beautiful and abundant. And I feel that you are really coming into, there's no other word, but a state that just feels glorious, right? I feel like you just are on this wave towards really getting out of that kind of, like I said, the Saturnine melancholy kind of place, and you're flowing further into this place where whatever was kind of keeping you in that spot, those blockages that I believe that you've really been working on, kind of clearing some stuff so the energy in your mind, body, soul can flow, upward, downward, without any kind of resistance or getting kind of stuck and building up in certain places in your spiritual body and your physical body. I really see just this growth, this beautiful growth of thoughts, creativity. I really think that this next few months is going to be a wealth of new ideas for you. Okay, so I know in a lot of my readings, if you've watched any of the other ones, I talk about journaling. I talk about making lists and gratitude lists and, writing letters and drawing and all kinds of stuff. Okay, but and I'm going to do it again. I think it's important that you get some of this stuff down while it's happening. Okay, get some of these ideas down. You don't have to edit it. They don't have to be perfect. Nobody else ever has to look at it. But I think that you're going to have some really, really beautiful ideas popping up. Okay, and that could be for new businesses, for art projects, spiritual work, interior work, whatever it is. I think that it's just going to be really, I get this like visual of almost like a cherry blossom tree, kind of just little blossoms popping up, pop, 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 and just, just really flourishing. Okay. And I think that that's going to be a beautiful thing. Now, if we look right here, I can see the same goat figure that we saw over here. This is upside down now, right here. And now I'm seeing it. Before I said it was kind of the sickle, and I saw it without just this formation. Okay, but now I'm seeing it kind of has the head. It has this horn, almost like a ram, but the horn and the arm up, and this one is it's sitting, right? And this is in a sitting posture as well. But with that arm raised, I really think that this is almost kind of, and I see this, it looks kind of like a little snake. I definitely see this as a posture of initiation, okay? This is the initiate in a seated posture, okay, in a meditative state, in a receptive state, in a devotional state. But with the arm lifted like this, with the energy flowing, this is very much a connection through the core up into the kind of crown, but off to the side here to the right, okay? And so I really think that this is a beautiful activation of one of those lower rungs of the higher self. Okay, so we're crossing over from the material, from the material kingdoms, the body, the lower chakras system, up into these higher and up into the higher realms. Okay, so this is beginning to get into something like having visions, having dreams that are going to bring messaging to you. Okay, being receptive to the messages of the universe. And now this, because it's in more of those lower rungs, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will all be clear right now, but you are receiving those signs. Okay, and so I think, again, it's good to write this stuff down, and then you go and research some of it, or you put it away and you wait till it comes up again and becomes clear to you. Okay, because even if we are not necessarily looking for a very clear and exact answer, the universe is going to reveal what these things mean at some point or another. And you'll be like, aha, I remember seeing that. I was wondering what that meant, and now I know. I can't tell you how many times I read something and I'm like, I had a dream about that. I didn't even know what that word was. Or, you know? So, I think we have a situation like this, okay? So, let's see. What do we have here? Okay. Now, I believe that this relationship that you have going on, there's almost been kind of like, there has been something within it that has, not within the relationship, something within yourself that has held you back. Besides the trust issues, I think something from your past that has really kept you from fully embracing this connection. I think it's, you know, an important connection. You realize that, and you have deep feelings for this person, but there's something that has kept, and I almost think maybe a past relationship, somebody, I wonder if they just have similarities to your relationship now, or you went into this relationship hoping to fulfill things that were not fulfilled in the last relationship, but there have been some tendencies that kind of mirror the old relationship. And I think that you are starting to come to a realization that these things, these blockages in your relationships, these misalignments, are definitely have more to do with you than the person that you are, you know, the people that you have tried to form these bonds with. Okay. And so I think that it's important that you just continue really working towards healing some of this stuff, looking for things that are going to support you in that journey. I think that really just, you know, being very honest and taking responsibility with yourself about some of maybe your behaviors, or, you know, just, I don't know exactly what they are, and I couldn't say, but just really being honest with yourself. And you don't have to do this with anybody else. I'm not telling you to go and talk this out with your person or the old person or anything like that. I think it's just really, this is about the process of being more aware of your role in some of the things that did not work out. And maybe you think that, okay, this is happening again with this person. I just pick the same kinds of people every time, and they, you know, always end up, you know, being this person, you know, whatever. I have a type and they all have the same flaw. Well, I think, you know, that could be to some degree, but I think you also, there are patterns here, and they probably are tied to you to some extent. Okay. So I think it's important to be working on this stuff. And I feel that there's going to be a breakthrough, and and I see like a staff here. So when I look at this staff, I really think that we're looking at a breakthrough to wisdom, something that you're going to be able to apply to your relationship. Not just some thought that you're like, oh gosh, okay, maybe this is my fault. I always do this, blah, blah, blah. And then you carry it with you. Okay. No, I think you're really going to work this out, process it, take accountability for it, and, learn this into wisdom and put it into practice. Okay. And that's really going to help. And I think this relationship you have, this person is very understanding, loves you, cares for you, respects you, has their own issues, working on them as well. I think you're a good match. Okay. I think you're going to support, at least for now. Okay. You're going to be supportive of one another, and you're going to be each other's rock. Okay. And we see, where did you go? We have this beautiful, I can't believe they match so well. But we have this beautiful, you're going to be each other's rock. Also, I just wanted to say shout out to this. It looks like a solar disc. I think that anyways, that illuminating solar energy is shining upon you and your situation and your beautiful, beautiful, expansive growth of self. And my goodness, your initiation, be it through a system, or a philosophy, if you belong to a lodge or religion, or if you are self-initiating, you are in that place. And I think that beautiful illuminating eye or disc is really blessing you. Okay. And it's a beautiful thing. I think that you are a rounded out person. You have like all of these different parts of self. I don't think you're afraid of them. I think that you really embrace, even the parts that are difficult, and that's wonderful. That will be so helpful in life, right? Yeah, so this has been a fun reading for me, and I thank you so much, Virgo. I really hope that this resonated with some of you. I hope it gave you some good feelings, and maybe some nice energy to keep building upon the work that you're doing. Okay. So, if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps me get into the algorithm. It helps the video get out to other people. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and do so. You can even hit the bell thing, and that's supposed to give you notifications for other videos coming out, which you can watch your other placements, and hopefully those messages will also resonate with you. Other than that, I would just love to hear from you. Leave a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know what you're thinking about, what's going on. I really enjoy reading the comments. And what else? Oh, if you're interested in a private reading, you can go into the description, and there are instructions on how to book a reading with me. I've done a few of them from the channel, and they've been really fun. So if you're watching this and I've done a reading for you, thank you. It's been a great experience for me. Yeah, so other than that, thank you. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. Thank you, Virgo.